Good day, friends. I want to be opening our minds on leadership a little bit, given the work that I have already done so far. And in this presentation, I want to dwell mainly on the concept of leadership, which will roll into the practice of leadership in a sense. But it's the concept, the definition aspect that I want. In one other video, I did the word origins of the word leader. Now I am talking about the definition of the word. And in my writing, the Leadership Journey Handbook, which I would recommend very strongly as an easy read, I have dwelt on this particular concept, but if you need more information, you want to have a look at that and quickly grab a copy and then be able to spruce up your leadership skills and your understanding of the practice, as it were. So leadership has been defined by renowned authors on the subject. I can start off with William Smith. He says leadership is influence. Also, J. Sanders concurs and says leadership is influence. John Maxwell then goes on and says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, when we talk about the aspect of the definition given by Maxwell, he is saying we don't have to add too much. The emphasis that has been given by, or the understanding that is brought by the two authors I've already quoted, Smith and Sanders, is sufficient. So he says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. You cannot add or subtract from that particular definition. And it's easy to remember. In other words, when we are talking about a leader, we are talking about an influencer. So a leader is an influence. And leadership equals to influence. There are many other definitions we can look around, but you will find that they always point to the concept, to the idea of influence. And influence is like making an impact on the lives of people, making them achieve much more than they probably thought they were capable of doing. And leaders have a responsibility of influencing those that they claim to lead so that they can be able to become better. And one of the roles of a leader is to be able to develop people, as it were. If we fail in that regard, we are failing in our leadership. We make an impact on people by persuading them and not by coercing them to move from where they are to another level. And so it's important for us to be able to realize that a leader is an influencer and leadership is influence. One expert actually puts it in equation format, talking mathematics, and says if we are talking about influence, we can put it this way in terms of an equation. And he says influence is equal to character plus competence plus connection. We have already said that the word leadership is equals to influence, and we can substitute influence with the word leadership. And it has got three important components. I'm happy that they all come up with, they all start with C's. Then we have character as being a fundamental ingredient to leadership. Competence is a fundamental ingredient in connection. Just a little bit of flesh on this, but you can pick the information from my book. When we are talking about character, at the core of character is dependability. If you want integrity, if you want consistency, people do not follow somebody they don't know whether what they are saying they mean it or they don't mean it. So that particular ingredient of integrity is very, very fundamental in terms of enhancing leadership. Anybody trying to lead without any dependability, any consistency, any honesty, that their actions and their words do not tally, they're incongruent, will fail from the very, very beginning. So character is fundamental to genuine leadership. And people that are in leadership, you and me need to know this and understand it, that our influence is enhanced when we have dependability within our character makeup. Then the aspect of competence, people do not follow titles, they follow people who are able to deliver the job. Once you demonstrate that you are able to do the work, you are able to lead people, you can connect them, you can encourage them so that they can be able to perform. You have competence and people will listen to you. You can have a position where you are sitting in there and you are not competent. Just know that unless you spruce up the competence aspect, you are subtracting from your influence or from your leadership. If you add character plus competence plus connection, you will complete the influence cycle or the leadership cycle. Connecting is making sure that you are in touch with the people that you are leading. They know that you care about them. It's just common knowledge that even if they approach you and they ask for assistance because they cannot be able to perform a certain task, or they've run into problems whilst they are performing the task, they can be able to count on your assistance. Then you are connected to the people. But when people can shy away from you, you have a disconnect, then your leadership role is in trouble. So 3 C's, friends: character plus competence plus connection gives us leadership or influence. I'm hoping that this enlightens you and helps you to get involved, very well knowing that your character matters. In other words, and it matters, it doesn't really matter whether you are holding an office that is in the public domain or it's more private. Your competence is critical. Your connection with people is critical in order to complete the leadership cycle. Thank you very much.